In this video, we'll be taking a look at one college football game happening on October 19, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for this game, so 2 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on this one college football game after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Georgia State versus Appalachian State. The Georgia State Panthers battle the Appalachian State Mountaineers in a Sun Belt showdown on Wednesday evening. The Panthers earned a win against Georgia Southern in their previous action before enjoying their bye last week. The Mountaineers are also fresh off a bye week. They lost to Texas State in their latest clash. Appalachian State posted a 45-16 road win against Georgia State last season. The Georgia State Panthers are 2-4 this season after they defeated Georgia Southern by a score of 41-33 in their last game. Georgia State gained 521 total yards and forced 5 turnovers in the win. The Georgia State offense is averaging 30 points per game with 202.3 passing yards per game. The Georgia State defense is giving up 33 points per game with 438.3 yards per game. The Georgia State Panthers have won 4 of their last 6 road games. Darren Granger is completing 55.7% of his passes for 1,214 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Jamry Thrash and Robert Lewis have combined for 836 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns, while Jasias Krettel has 17 receptions. The Georgia State Panthers ground game is averaging 234.3 yards per contest, and Tucker Gregg leads the way with 460 yards and 6 touchdowns. Defensively, Georgia State is allowing 33.3 points and 438.3 yards per game. Antavius Lane leads the Georgia State Panthers with 54 tackles. Blake Carroll has 1.5 sacks, and Quavian White has 4 interceptions. The Appalachian State Mountaineers are 3-3 this season after they lost to Texas State by a score of 36-24 in their last game. Appalachian State gave up the first 24 points of this game and was not able to come back in the second half. The Appalachian State offense is averaging 35 points per game with 287.3 passing yards per game. The App State defense is allowing 29 points per game with 337.8 yards per game. The Appalachian State Mountaineers have won 8 of their last 10 home games. Chase Bryce is completing 65.8% of his passes for 1,668 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Christian Horn and Dashawn Davis have combined for 719 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns, while Keaton Robinson has 14 receptions. The Appalachian State Mountaineers ground game is averaging 163.5 yards per contest, and Cameron Peoples leads the way with 372 yards and 3 touchdowns. Defensively, Appalachian State is allowing 28.8 points and 340.8 yards per game. Nick Ross leads the Appalachian State Mountaineers with 41 tackles. Nick Hampton has 5 sacks, and Dexter Lawson Jr. has 3 interceptions. The Panthers are 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 road games and 21-6-1 against the spread in their last 28 games in October. The Mountaineers are 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 home games and 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 games overall. The over is 7-3 in Panthers' last 10 games on field turf. The over is 5-2 in Mountaineers' last 7 games overall. The Panthers are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. The favorite is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. These fighters are surely revitalized after a week off. Georgia State was 0-4 after 4 games before winning 2 straight. After an embarrassing road loss to Texas State, Appalachian State is eager to get back on the field. Don't be fooled by the loss. Appalachian State is a Sun Belt contender that only lost by 2 points to the Tar Heels and also defeated a ranked Texas Aggies squad earlier in the season. The Mountaineers underperformed in their loss to Texas State in Week 6 action. They moved the ball well for 436 yards, but they could not punch it in as they were defeated on the road. Primetime in Boone, North Carolina is a special place as the entire town will be buzzing for this midweek clash. The run game for App State only had 41 total yards. That will change against Georgia State. The Mountaineers averaged 163 yards per game, while the Panthers are allowing 180 rush yards per game. Georgia State also has a shaky defense that will be exploited. Last season, Appalachian State quarterback Chase Bryce accumulated 325 passing yards against this Georgia State team, and the experienced quarterback should find open receivers all game against a Georgia State pass defense ranked 97th in the FBS. It will be difficult for the Panthers to gain yards. They frequently rely on the run, but the Mountaineers' top defensive strength is their ability to contain the run. They only allow 126 rushing yards per game on average. The Georgia State Panthers appear to be breaking out of their funk, but their defense still leaves a lot to be desired, and their offense remains one-dimensional with no passing attack. The Appalachian State Mountaineers' offense is far more balanced, and they should have no trouble finding success here. The Panthers will be on 3 days of rest as they go on the road to Boone. The Mountaineers will be very fresh as they take it to a Sun Belt opponent. The Panthers will have no answer for quarterback Bryce as Georgia State gives up 258 passing yards per game. While the trends point to Georgia State, the inflated line tells you what the odds makers think of this matchup. Appalachian State is the better team in this matchup and needs the win desperately. Look for Appalachian State to defend their home field against a lackluster Georgia State team this week. So the Appalachian State Mountaineers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. App State is averaging 35 points per game and scoring 42.5 points per game at home this season. The Panthers are also averaging 30 points per game. Georgia State's defense will be tired after a game on Saturday, so expect the Mountaineers' offense to run up and down the field on Wednesday night. This season, these rivals have played several high-scoring games. The Mountaineers lost a close game to North Carolina, 63-61. Georgia State will add to this total. The offense is unquestionably their strongest suit. Earlier this season, Georgia State scored 28 points against the Tar Heels and has now scored at least 24 points in 4 consecutive games. Furthermore, the Appalachian State offense will contribute significantly to the scoring in this game. Quarterback Chase Bryce has a strong offensive line, and Georgia State is rarely sacked. We know Bryce is talented, but how about his running game? Cameron Peoples is a dangerous running back. He's averaging more than 6 yards per carry, and Georgia State ranks 106th in the nation against the run. Appalachian State has also scored at least 32 points in 3 of their 4 home games this season. At first glance, this total may seem a tad high for 2 well-rested teams in a midweek conference matchup. However, some key stats and trends tell a different story. First off, 4 of Georgia State's last 5 games have featured at least 63 points. The only one that didn't was against Army, which is understandable with a run-dominant service academy involved. The Panthers have also hit the over in 3 of their last 4 games, with each total being at least 63.5 at kickoff. Meanwhile, Appalachian State is 4-2 to the over this season, with all 3 Sun Belt matchups going over. Why do so many Georgia State and App State games end up higher scoring? Well, for the Panthers, it's a combination of 2 factors. They boast the 13th best rushing offense in the country that not only plays with pace, but also utilizes 3 legit rushing threats to keep defenses off balance, including a dual-threat quarterback. Georgia State is averaging 33 points per game in its last 5 games with this offense. On the flip side, the Panthers' defense is allowing 33 points and 438.3 total yards per game this season. This is where App State's attack can have success, especially through the air. The Mountaineers put up 35.2 points per game and have the 28th best passing offense in the country, averaging 287.3 pass yards per game. At the same time, App State's defense has allowed at least 28 points in all 3 conference matchups thus far and struggled with dual-threat quarterbacks already against UNC and JMU. The over is 4-1 in the Mountaineers' last 5 home games, indicating that points will be scored throughout the game. In addition to that, in the Panthers' last 10 home games, the over is 7-3. I believe that we are going to see a shootout in this game as I anticipate a barrage of points. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.